Hello,
Hi,
I'm Isaiah.
I'm Sage.
And today we want to talk to you about bubbles and boundaries. So, what does that mean? What are we talking about?
Yeah, the reason why you need to have boundaries a lot on your twin flame journey, if you want to be with your ultimate lover, you want to take a spiritual journey to love yourself more, you've got to have good boundaries and you've got to create that bubble of peace in your life. So, how to do this and why?
Yeah, and well, it's because the main thing here is you create your reality. Your choice is powerful, and that is how you create your reality. And if there are things in your reality that don't feel good or you don't like, you have the power to heal through that, to heal that upset, and bring peace to yourself there. And then you're creating peace within yourself, which creates peace in your life. And that's what we're talking about, like creates this bubble. Because there could be chaos going on outside, like in the world, but if you have a peaceful, if you have peace within yourself and you have a bubble, like a peaceful bubble, and you have boundaries, you don't let anything into that, can still remain in your peace. You're protected there because peace is power, peace is protection, and that, like, your bubble is like your sacred space, and you're safe there because you have created that for yourself. And and there's always going to be things that come along and try to pop your bubble, right? But that's why you have boundaries.
And you can have like a lot better time in life in general. So if you do this, like, you're gonna attract more peaceful experiences and environments. I've always found that. And generally, I found that it's been very rare for me to have negative experiences, just really in general. But in particular, I'm talking about like I'm transitioning, right? And so sometimes people kind of expect to have bad experiences, and that's something that I have been healing and that I even continue to heal in myself. But I found that I've had very, very few of those, like very few of those. And not even because I try really hard to like pass as a woman in the eyes of others. In fact, sometimes I've had really great experiences when I didn't have any makeup on, or I wasn't doing anything, quote unquote, to like change my appearance besides like having done hormones for a while, and everything, and wearing my clothes, whatever. But the point, the clothes is part of it.
Wearing clothes.
Well, wearing like women clothes instead of
expressing yourself.
Yeah, expressing
through your clothing. Yeah.
But so I've had a good experience, and I do attribute that to how I was feeling. I've had some experiences where I was feeling acutely bad, like acutely scared, and then I went into a situation that ended up being bad, and I kind of had a feeling that it would be bad, but I like did it anyway because I was like, I'm really hungry and I need to stop. It was on a trip from Las Vegas because
I know, I remember.
Yeah, I picked up some people who were basically criminals, and they wouldn't pay me, so I left. I left them in Las Vegas after taking them from Phoenix.
Yeah.
And they also took a guy who, I don't know why I accepted this. Don't ever do this, but you always have to learn. They took their guy. They were saying, "Oh, we bring our friend because we want to take him on a trip to Vegas before he has to go to prison."
Oh my God.
I did. I was
major red flag.
I was like, that's fine, you know. And then they didn't pay me at the beginning, and they're like, we'll pay you later. And then they called me and they were like, oh, we spent all our all our money, and we're in Henderson, which is like a suburb of Vegas or whatever. And so they were. I was like, these people are bad fucking news, and they deserve this. Like, they called this in, so I'm leaving. And then I stopped at a cafe in Arizona in Kingman, which has a very bad reputation, a really anti any minority reputation, like very bad news. And I also had a very bad feeling, and I was super scared because I hadn't worked through it completely. The fear that was coming up with these people, you know, and yeah, and then there were these people there who were like yelling stuff at me sometimes and like being really threatening, and yeah, that happened. Mm-hmm. That's probably the worst experience I've had, but most of the time I haven't had that. But you see, like, because I had that feeling and I even had that intuition and stuff, and I ignored my intuition. Mm-hmm. That was part of why it happened, and the acute fear that I was feeling and I hadn't resolved kind of opened that up.
Yeah.
But most of the time I really haven't had that. And usually when something like that has happened, it has always been when I was really stressed.
Yeah.
And afraid.
Yeah.
And I wasn't dealing with it fully.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially transgender people or whoever's like transitioning.
Yeah.
So like looking back at that, or like, you know, talking about it now, like if you were to be with your past self then, like how would you help her through that to heal that feeling so that like she wouldn't have to experience that, you know?
Yeah, just tell her to be present with herself and not to leave herself there.
Yeah. Just
stay present emotionally, and I would just stay really present emotionally, like don't try to push the feelings away at all. But I would still encourage her to act, like, because my feeling was I should probably get out of there as soon as possible, because I just didn't know who I was dealing with, and well, I kind of knew, so at that point, and just keep going and follow my intuition while staying present with it, and loving myself there, and that feels right to me, and just have a boundary with the fear, like we're being like, I'm not letting it in. And our coach today, Chrissy, was talking about how Jeff, one of the people who founded Twin Flames Universe, was saying that fear is like a vampire, or ego is like a vampire, and it can't come in unless you let it in. And that's so true. So it's such a good reminder, and I do feel glad I shared that story and talked with you about it, because it feels a lot better now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you shared, it's really important. Well, always listen to your intuition. Like, you can trust that, and two, like what Sage just shared. Sage just shared. That is how you, like, by being present with yourself, moving through it, loving yourself there. That's how you can heal these things within yourself, create peace within yourself, love yourself there, and by doing that, then you know you don't have to have experience like that, or you heal through it so it doesn't happen again. Right?
Yeah. And sometimes you can't control your journey.
Right, you can't avoid it if it happens.
Sometimes things happen because you're unaware of something, or you're really resistant to it, or something happens. It has to happen to bring something to light. But in my experience, it doesn't have to be horrible, and it doesn't have to be frequent.
Yeah, and it's just coming
like
up for you to get rid of that from your consciousness, or heal it from your consciousness.
Yeah, but it works best when you're staying present and you're healing things as they come up. Not necessarily like when energy builds up and then you like manifest something that's negative.
Sure, yeah.
And so that helps with anything in life, and it does help too on your twin flame journey. Because your twin flame can reflect things to you, and if you're trying to be with them, like they like, it's the person who like, you're one with them and you share consciousness with them, which is why you can attract them or repel them based on like your inner state. And so, you know, sometimes you can like have a harder time with them all of a sudden if there's something that's not addressed in you. But if you have like a boundary with fear and you're like loving yourself there, like if you're like, oh, like what if my twin flame, you know, gets with another woman or another man, or like what if my twin flame, I don't know, moves to Argentina or something, and then it could manifest, but it's not the end of the world because you can heal and change anything. But it's just important to have boundaries with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that you can sustain the breakthroughs you have with your twin flame as you heal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this process we're just shared with you, that's how you keep your bubble and have your boundaries. And thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. And follow the links below, comment or message us for